Howdy folks, Meandering Mike here in the Man Cave of Madness. We are bringing you another Hex Encounter Memory segment. This is in a slightly different format. Instead of doing it at the table with the map laid out and the counters and the box lid or whatnot and talking about there, this memory is less about the game itself as it is the who, what, when, where, why, how of the play of this game that I remember. And it's a bittersweet memory. So let me explain that. But first, a little background. So this is the Battle of Nations, the Encirclement at Leipzig. That's quite a mouthful. This is part of the Napoleon at War quad game. I've been covering those on my channel with how to plays, playthroughs, after action reviews. I don't think I'm going to do it with this game because again, this memory is more about the play experience, not the gameplay itself, and it's a bittersweet memory. So let's continue with that. This is the first game, only game, I remember playing with my dad. This is like 50 years ago, give or take a year or two. Okay. Now, I had played games with my dad before as a kid, and he taught me how to play chess. I played chess with him. Of course, he always won. He's not the kind of guy who would let you win. But when I got into middle school, 7th, 8th grade, I learned how to play chess. I started reading about chess books. I got on the chess team. I wasn't bad. I, started at 5th board, worked my way to 4th board, and at one point jumped all the way up to 2nd board on the chess team. That aside, I started playing war games during those years, 7th and 8th grade. And somewhere along the line, I played 2 or 3 war games with my dad. I only remember playing this one. Now, so I'm still going to give you a little more background on why this was a bittersweet memory. So, unfortunately, I can't point with a mouse pointer here. This is a image background is the source for a scene here in OBS, and that doesn't support mouse capture, unlike a browser window. So I'll just sort of point. Now you see over there, there's the counter mix. It's one of the problems with this game is the SPAG quad games were limited to 100 counters in the counter mix, and this scope of this battle is so big with so many people involved in it, different nations, that they had to cut out the artillery units. If you look over there, there's only infantry and cavalry. They did sort of look at the relative artillery overall strength on the various nations and beef up some of the strengths of some of the units to make the overall relative strength the same between the nations. But since there are no actual artillery units, that means there's no bombardment. That means Napoleonically, tactically, there's a lot missing. Not being able to use the bombardment of the artillery. Okay. And again, we're getting to why that's important. So I played this game with my dad, probably in 8th grade, maybe 7th, but I think 8th grade. And I was the French. And the French notoriously will lose this battle. They're surrounded. Again, I can't gesture with the mouse, but they're at Leipzig and north of it, northeast of it. You've got guys all around, and the Allies are coming in and collapsing in on them, and basically, they're trying to fight them off, which Napoleon liked having interior lines of communication. And as long as he could, from the middle, hit here, hit there, and if he could make it work, he liked that. But a little overwhelming here. However, in this game, there's different demoralization levels for each day of the battle. And on the very first day of the battle, the Allies only have an 80 demoralization level. And it goes up over time, like it goes then up to 120 and then 160 or something like that. Well, the French always stay at like 110. So one way you can win is on the first day, you be really aggressive as the French. If you've been watching my videos, you tend to know I like to be an aggressive attacker. And you can throw yourself at the Allies on the first day and try to demoralize them and win the game. All right. It's a little harder to do that in this game because you don't have any artillery. You can't use artillery for diversions. You can't try to going to attack here and then here, and I've surrounded a guy and kill him. Doing that is much, much easier if you can get artillery support in key places and maybe soak off here, and so you can get better odds here and use more guys where you need to. Can't do that here. So it is tougher to if you're a skilled tactician in trying to force surrounds to get eliminations, it's harder. However, that's true of the enemy. So the Allies, when they try to counterattack, they don't have artillery either. So if the French stick their nose out in a risky play to try to surround something and maybe fail, they might survive because the Allies might not be able to get the right odds in the right places, etc. So it's a double-edged sword. Now, so rambling on here, we're meandering. So the bittersweetness of it is, okay, I won this game against my dad and I lost it. How was that? I got aggressive. I attacked hard and fast. First 5 turns, it's the first day, and I demoralized him. I won instantly the moment I demoralized him. You look at the rules, that's the way it's written. And my dad looked at that and says, well, we should play on. He sees all his units, how much more he has coming, the reinforcements surrounding me, and he says, well, let's play on. And, who was I to disagree with my dad? I was 12, 13, probably 13 years old. Now, I was tired. I'd done my math homework. I'm good at math, but it takes some brain power. It was a school night. So I was getting tired, and I kept playing on. And the Allies kept coming, and I wasn't paying as much attention, and they were starting to crush me. And he started outflanking me across these bridges over here and bridges over there, and I just didn't really care because I'd already won and whatever. He wanted to play on, so we were doing that. And I got tired and cranky, and eventually, finally, they got to the very end. Finished one within 5 turns, and there's 24 turns in this whole game or something like that. And finally, he got to the end, and he won because I lost more guys, and technically, if neither side is demoralized, it's a draw. And the fact that I demoralized him first, I was supposed to have won instantly, but he ended up killing more of me in the end, because anything that's still in a zone of control of the Allies, the French guys, they're considered eliminated, and all this stuff. So the bittersweetness is it's the only war game I remember playing with my dad. Like I said, we'd played games before, we played games afterwards. We all grew up with families. We would play word games like Balderdash and Wise and Otherwise. A lot of fun. But the only one war game is the one that I won. But in a sense, he didn't let me win because he didn't let me. I won, but he wanted to play it out, and so he won in the end, in his mind. But so that is my bittersweet memory of the Battle of Nations, Leipzig, Encirclement Leipzig from Napoleon at War, quadra game. And like I said, I probably won't play this one. Now, maybe I should. Maybe that'd be, cathartic to go back and play it again and all that stuff. It's just not as fun and good. Aside from my personal experience with the gameplay with my dad, the fact that there's no artillery, it just doesn't feel right to me as a Napoleonic game. And I wish someone would come up with a variant or version. Maybe it's out there. I just don't know. With a different counter mix, like what would the units be if you had separate artillery? You'd have the separate artillery, and the units that had been beefed up could be their regular strength, and you could play this out, as it really should have been. With I don't know if they would have just needed an extra 10, 20, 25 counters or something to represent the artillery. I don't know, but so there we are. Meandering Mike, Man Cave of Madness with another Hex Counter Memory. The odds that I will actually get this to the table, maybe, no promises, but maybe you can convince me. So, that all said, I want you all to take care of your games, because they will take care of you. And Remember to say that you love your loved ones, even if you have some bittersweet memories. Still, the blood is thicker than water, and old bad memories and all that stuff. So, take care, y'all.